Good morning. How are you guys doing? Now, there's speculation. I'll share with you real quick. You know, we'll get into the speculation because that's what we do. And I don't know. This we'll say this is all alleged, okay? Because honestly, with Reddit, you never know. Some of it can be really sound information, and some of it is totally bunk. So let me find it. Just a second. It's no, hold on. Okay. So people are saying, here we go. And I'm sure you've heard this before too. I got to go over this because there might be some people in here who haven't heard it. Okay. I saw this comment on Facebook and wanted to share it here because it clarifies everything and to stop people from speculating about the survivors. Supposedly, a few days after the murder, someone was asking questions on the victim's past Instagram post about the survivors. Two of the people who were at the house with the roommates when the call was made quickly came to their defense, and this is supposedly what they said. Keep in mind, this is all alleged. Two people who claimed to be at the house with the roommates when the bodies were discovered quickly came to the surviving roommate's defense and wrote that the roommates woke up, went upstairs to the kitchen, noticed the sliding glass door was open. It was during that time they discovered Ethan. They didn't say where he was found on that floor, but that it was horrific that both girls went into shock and ran out of the house. One of the roommates fainted, and the other was beyond hysterical and not making any sense. Their frantic actions while coming out of the house caught the attention of people walking past. The people responded on the victim's Instagram, claimed to be two of the people. They implied that the roommate who fainted had already dialed 911, but was so distraught that she fainted before she could give any details to the dispatcher that the dispatcher could understand. How the 911 was made on the roommate's phone and by someone else, and why the call went out for an unconscious person. While the bystander was on the phone with 911, the other roommate was hysterically trying to explain that something was wrong with Ethan. By this point, several more people had stopped to see what was happening, and one or two of them went into the house. So now you've got this problem where several people might have come into the home. I think Ethan's brother was among those. I think his name's, well, I won't say his name, but one of his brothers, remember he is of a triplet situation. So he has two siblings, a sister and a brother, or I should say he had two siblings, a sister and a brother. Okay. So yes, his brother was among one of those people, allegedly, that came into the crime scene. Can't even imagine. There were multiple people in the yard at that time, and those people began contacting their friends that someone in the house was badly hurt. Someone called Ethan's brother Hunter to tell him something was wrong with his brother because he lived close to the house, and someone called one of the other victim's boyfriends, as he was also Ethan's best friend. They didn't go into detail on if either of those boys had arrived before the paramedics, but it did kind of sound like they did. They didn't go into detail on what kind of injuries Ethan suffered. They also didn't say if anyone went to check on the roommates before the paramedics arrived, but it somewhat implied that someone had. The only details they gave about the scene itself was that it was incomprehensibly bloody. While those people were in the house checking on Ethan and possibly the other roommates, the paramedics arrived to a very chaotic scene. I can't even imagine. Can you imagine? Ooh. Believing that they were there to assess an unconscious person outside, but were redirected to go inside to help someone who was hurt very badly. So they walked in the house unaware that there was a crime scene contaminated most of everything on the second floor. So from what we understand, Ethan and Xana were on the second floor. Maddie and Kaylee were on the third floor. They were actually sleeping in the same bed in, I don't know if it's Kaylee's old room, but it was on the third floor. We just know that also. So now there's some news that came out about this 3 a.m. police being, at 3 a.m. police were called to the fraternity. I guess they're saying this is confirmed. It's been speculation for days, but Now they're confirming it. So hang on a second. I'm going to play that for you. And then I've got some crazy stuff to show you. Ay, ay, ay. Just a minute. Let me pull this. Okay.
Call logs are public record. Anybody can see them, rightly so, because taxpayers pay for that work product. And now some eagle-eyed followers of the Idaho quadruple murder case have picked up on one particular item from the police on the night that the 4 college kids were murdered. In fact, the incident in question happened at almost exactly the same time as the killings. I'm going to read to you what the police blotter actually says. Quote, there was an alcohol offense reported at 3:01 a.m. on November 13th, and that's the last night the kids were alive. The location, a field on Taylor Avenue. You can see it there. Band. It's called Band Field. So that is not far from the Sigma Chi frat house where 2 of the victims, Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin, spent a lot of their evening earlier on that night. The police timeline puts them at the Sigma Chi party from 8 to 9 p.m. But then there's a big 4-hour and 45-minute black hole where nobody knows, or nobody's saying anyway, where Ethan and Xana were between 9 p.m. until they got home at 1:45 a.m. So our Brian Enton joins me live again, and we're also joined by Gemma Gaudet, who's the host of Idaho Matters on Boise State Public Radio. Thank you to both. Okay, Brian, I'm going to begin with you. The big question is, what do we know about that very strange police call at 3:01 a.m.?
Well, we don't know much more than what you just said, Ashley. It was in the police blotter. 3:01 had something to do with alcohol. Police did take down a report, although we haven't been able to get that report at this point. This is the field behind me where the call was made, the big white field right there. That's the frat house you just talked about. You can see with the Christmas lights, and it's all very, very close to the house where the murders happened.
I don't know if you're able to, but if you and your photographer Mo could sort of walk me that way, because as I understand it, you might actually be able to walk me at least part or all of the way from where you are to the home where the victims lived.
Yeah, we can walk you there. Again, frat house, field. This is like an apartment complex parking lot that we're in, and we'll walk you back, Ashley. And I've been telling you the last couple of days, there's it's a dense area. You know, when you just look at the shot of the house, you don't realize that all of these houses and apartment buildings are around. This is like a little walkway that the students use to.
So what I feel like he's showing is that it is such a short walk from this area where they were partying, where the Greek life and stuff was going on. It's such a short walk from the homes. So perhaps let's just say that this was, well, it sounds like there was a situation with some drinking and stuff. What if one of those guys may have had beef with, let's just say, Ethan and Xana or something? We'll just say, this is speculation, of course, but what if that is what urged them to take the walk across the street? You know what I'm saying? It's such a short walk. Okay, Seeds of Hope. I won't do that. Okay. So now I'm going to show you guys some stuff that, well, I came across yesterday. And at first I was thinking, man, I just have to show you guys. Like I was about to go live right then. And I'm glad that I didn't now because I had some time to process it. And I figured I might have been overreacting some. But I want to talk to you guys about this person. So you guys have heard of Jack K, right? I won't say his last name, but if you've heard the name, you know who he is. He follows, let me share this with you. So you see this picture on my page, right? Or on this page right here. This Jack guy likes this. I guess he views this guy's Instagram info, right? He's one of his followers or whatever you want to call it. So the name of the Instagram channel, or sorry, the Instagram name is DEDLY. You know what that spells, right? You can just imagine. So what's weird about this situation is there's this guy, and you see the arrow on top of him. Ryan, I don't know his last name, but he has some very interesting art. I don't know that it means anything, but let me kind of show you what I'm talking about. About 11 weeks ago, Jack K he posted like, "Good luck, Ryan." Now, does that seem like it's any big deal? Not really. But once you see some of this other stuff, it's a bit weird. Let me pull it. Hang on. Oops. It's down here. Okay. You can still see my page. Let me double check. Okay, good. Okay. I want you to take a look because this is the very same guy. All right. This is the Ryan guy. I'm assuming from what I can understand, I think he might be a fraternity guy, or he could be just a friend of this Jack K. Okay. But he had made some posts in 4chan that were a little, I don't know, kind of weird. And here's why they're weird to me. So you see right here, it says the name, right? And it says Sigma rule number 1, eliminate the biggest threat in the room. Do you guys see this knife? I'm going to show you something real quick. Again, it might be absolutely nothing, but it might be something. Okay? It might be something. I have the exact, well, not I, my husband has the exact same knife. Okay? This is what it looks like. All right? This is what we call the K-bar. A Marine guy that my husband works with gave it to him as a gift, probably about a month ago. I can't zoom in much more than I'm doing, but when you look at this knife that this person is holding, it looks the exact same, you guys. Like I said, I was like so ready to talk about it yesterday, and I realized I don't want to jump the gun. I don't want to assume things. But man, when you look at this, hold on, let me see if I can do the same direction. Okay. Doesn't it look similar? And I wish I could zoom in on the handle because the handle is especially noticeable to me. Like it's got the same grooves to me. And then, of course, this wooden handle situation. It looks incredibly the same, does it not? So, what we need to figure out, and I don't know how we will, is if this Ryan character, again, I don't know his last name, but if he is in that fraternity, he's got some interesting things going on personally. He's very into the MURDER and the gore and the this and the that. Now, a lot of people will argue, well, so many people are into that and they're not murdered. Okay, fine. I get it. I understand looking at it that way. I get it. But we're talking about somebody on the loose. Now, wait till we get into more of his art here in a moment, okay? So here he says, he's got a picture. Okay, you see the TEX. Again, this might be nothing and this might be something. Remember, Kaylee Goncalves was moving to Texas. She was moving to Austin, Texas. She had just taken a really good job there, was going to move her dog and her out there. Now, in this picture, he's got what looks to be like almost like a cocktail waitress. I don't know. Then it says, so you can see what is hashtagged here. When I went and I checked out what these things are that were hashtagged, he follows this channel on YouTube and they're really into the, gore, we'll call it, very much into seeing people, their lives come to an end. We'll put it that way. And here it says serial designation, and then it says Tex, TEX. Could that mean Texas? I don't know. Now, keep in mind, this is all from, I want to say this was from the 22nd, November 22nd. So here you can see it says, am I proud? No. Am I the tiniest bit sorry? LMAO, no. Not sorry. Okay. Now, here's another thing. This kind of art, I think, it's fan art, I think, of this particular YouTube channel he follows. But if you looked at it a little closer, it does look to be 3 females and a guy. What date is it from? November? It's gotta be from before November 22nd. Now here's another odd thing, guys. Okay, here's another here on November 15th, this guy posts best weekend ever. Remember, the weekend of, so it was the 12th, 13th, would have been Friday, Saturday. Wait, sorry, 11th, 12th, 13th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then who liked this post, who double liked it with 2 different names, was this Jack K character. Again, I don't want to overreact here, but it was a little weird because he cites that it was the best weekend ever. So what I want to get to the bottom of, does this Ryan guy go to school around there? Is he a frat guy? Is he involved in the Greek life stuff? Obviously, Jack was or is. In fact, Jack has photos with Maddie. I don't know if you guys have seen those. I don't have them available to me right now, but there's absolutely photos of them together. Another thing about this Jack guy, he was the first donor to Ethan's GoFundMe from, after this happened. I think he donated like $6. I think he was friends with all of them. Does anybody else get some weird vibes out of this? I mean, it could be a huge stretch. We know it could be a huge stretch, but it struck me as very odd. Now I want to read, hold on, where is my, oh, here it is. I want to read you guys something. Now, this to me sounds like it could very well have been from the killer. It makes you wonder, when you guys hear this, it's going to make you wonder if this person was there. Honest to God. Okay, so it says, here's what I think happened. They all came home around the same time, home by 2 a.m. The killer is already there, in the wood line, hiding in the dark, but with a full view of the back of the house the entire time. Watches and waits as they all eat and congregate briefly in the second level kitchen area, in varying states of inebriation. Finally, they go to their respective bedrooms, Ethan and Xana on the second level, locking the bedroom door behind them. Maddie and Kaylee do the same on the third level, initially to their own rooms to get ready for bed. The killer is outside, motionless, still waiting patiently, noting what lights are turning on and off, and tracking the faint sound of opening and closing bathroom and bedroom doors. His intended target is in there, on the top floor, and all lights are out now. He waits 20 more minutes, silence, yet he is concerned about the unexpected male in the house, but he is too hopped up on all of this fantasy, months in the making, to turn back time. Plus, he has a target, a mission to accomplish, a retribution. He hopes he can accomplish his task without having to even bother with the couple on the second floor. He is stealthy. He has practice. He slips in quietly, a window, a door, it doesn't matter. He is in, undetected, and quietly ascending the staircase to the third floor now. He reaches the intended target's door. It is slightly ajar. In the dim glow of charging electronics, he notices there are 2 girls in bed. He freezes for a moment, stops and listens to the deafening silence, and realizes it is far too late to turn back now. He pushes in silently and sees his target. She is sleeping hard now, and so is her bedmate. So this person knew that they were in the same bed before it was ever announced by the parents, by the way, or by the dad last night. Of course, a lot of us could assume that that was the case. I know I did, but this is kind of interesting, okay? He hovers over the target and unleashes his carnage, a barrage quickly incapacitating her. The girl lying next to her is awake now, but only for long enough to say no several times, the last one being loud enough to further enrage the killer. She too is quickly dispatched. He had practiced this 1,000 times in his mind. It was quick, the whole thing. He checked his watch. It had only been 3 minutes in total since he entered the home. Let's let's see, hold on. The bedrooms, a total of 5 minutes since he slipped inside the house. The killers quickly look around and pauses to listen. No sounds downstairs, but his heart is pounding so loudly in his ears, he doesn't hear the hushed voices and quiet shuffling coming from the second floor bedroom. As he begins his descent down the stairs to make his quick and silent exit, his sick mission now accomplished, a wave of exhaustion rolls over him as he steps off the stairs onto the floor of the second level. He sees his exit across the room. He begins to move towards it slightly, and then it says, to be continued, maybe. What do you guys think? Is that a little strange? I tell you what, this person is absolutely among all these students just taunting them. I really believe that. I think he's probably stayed in town. That's just the feeling I get. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think this person is still in the area? Yeah, it is very weird. It's super creepy. Where's this from? So that was from Reddit. That was somebody who posted on Reddit. Let me see what day it was. It's hard to tell what day it was because what happens is a lot of times people will repost things from Reddit onto the Facebook page. So you can't see the date that it was actually made. But I know that I've had this in my phone since Monday. And it didn't come out about them sleeping in the same bed until last night at the vigil. So again, a lot of people could assume that. I assumed that they were sleeping on the same bed. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it was odd. It was creepy. Then there's another person who says, I am privy. Okay, let me first say though, again, all alleged. This is nothing confirmed here, guys. We're just going over the speculation now. So this person says, I am privy to information about the case. It says, hi, everybody. I've been trying to withhold this information for some time. However, I'm ready to share it. Relation to case. In May, I graduated from University of Idaho and quickly thereafter moved to North Carolina. I have a relative who has been working as a coroner, and it says in parentheses, not the one who spoke publicly on the case. Additionally, and maybe even more importantly, some of my best friends who are upperclassmen this year were involved in the making of the 911 call. Why I'm sharing this info. I've been holding on to this info since the day the case broke. I was told by my friends and family to not share this info. Today I hit a breaking point. I haven't been able to pull myself away from this subreddit and have become increasingly frustrated with the amount of information being spread around. What I know to be true. Jack D is suspect number 1 for Ellie at this moment and has been since day 1. We know that, police, law enforcement, they can absolutely lie and get away with it. So could this person be right? Maybe. We really don't know. Again, law enforcement has ruled out so many different suspects, so many different situations saying it's not connected. So we really don't know, but this is this person's opinion, okay? Let's see. The fact that they what I know to be true. Jack D is suspect number 1 for Ellie at this moment and has been since day 1. The fact that they cleared him is a common tactic used by Ellie to throw off both the public and the suspect. Kaylee's family was likely instructed to vouch for him. Ellie believes that Jack either committed this crime or hired someone to. Ellie is puzzled by the fact that Maddie's body was mutilated, the worst, most wounds, and the only one to be partially decapitated. Again, speculation. We don't know that to be true. Ellie is building a case to arrest Jack D, and they are trying to determine why he was so aggressive with Maddie and less so with Kaylee. Ethan was found laying on the doorway of Xana's room. He was the second to last one to be killed before the killer. Likely, but not certainly, Jack quickly killed Xana and ran away. Feel free to ask questions below. I'm willing to answer with what I know. Honestly, I'm not sold that it's Jack. I'm really not sold that it's Jack. But what has given me a bit of pause is with Donna's reading, she saw that there was like a redheaded guy that seemed to be the lookout. So that could be a situation like this, but it could also be there's some brothers that somebody had sent me some information on. I won't say her name, but anyway, their parents, so these two brothers worked at it was like a bakery. It was a restaurant that was very, very close to Mad Greek, where Maddie and Xana used to work. The two brothers worked in that restaurant with their parents. One of those boys is a redhead. The other is a brunette. They're both in the age range. I want to say, I think it's like 22 to maybe 26 time, that age range. Here's where it gets a bit creepy, guys. So I did a little bit of digging. And you guys have been hearing about this dog that was found filleted and skinned, right? When I plugged in the address that I know to be true for this family, and I should pause and say again, speculation. When I plugged in this address, and I plugged in the address of where Buddy, the 12-year-old Australian Shepherd, lived, it was literally a 4-minute walk. It was so incredibly close. So does it mean there's a connection? I have no idea, but I found it to be extremely alarming. The two brothers I saw a photo of, they have a very limited footprint on the internet. Like it's really hard to find any information on them. I won't share their names or anything, but it was pretty crazy. Oh, thank you, Alex. Good to see you. Thanks for being in here. And then there's this other character. Yes, this is extremely speculative. I'm going over the speculation. That's what we do. And then we also go over the facts. So there's another person whose info, I think it came to me last week and sometime. I can't remember which date. It was really something. Initials JP. This person graduated in what seems to be like 2015. He seems to be like he was an art student, possibly into theater as well. Would make these very strange, what do you want to call them? Maybe it was, sculptures, things like that. Well, there was one particular picture that was that I saw on YouTube from Crime Stories Obsessed. She had posted it, and I just, whoa, okay. So what it was a mask, and then this kind of like the outline of a body with a bra on, and this giant red gaping. Do I have a picture of it? Let me see if I can find a picture. I think I do. Or maybe I can just go to her page. Anyway, there's an apple sitting right next to the body. Again, if you listen to what Donna put out like about a week ago, there was an apple involved in that. This could be absolutely nothing. Again, this was posted in 2014. So could it have been a fantasy for years? Could have been. Anything's possible. But it definitely caught my attention, and it caught a lot of people's as well. It was rather creepy. I'll see if I can show you guys that photo. I'm sure you've probably seen it by now, but if you haven't, let me show you. Okay. Hang on a second. Oops.
There was still.
Sorry. Oh, did she? She may have taken. Oh, no. Hold on. Yeah, she may have taken it down. Okay, well, let me just show you. Just gonna. Such a weird thing. All right, take a look. Can you guys see that? This is what he put out on his Facebook. I think it was back maybe February of 2014. Okay. Hey Danielle. Hey everyone, glad you're here. Please like the video. Oh yeah, please. Yeah, hit the like button if you can. That'd be awesome. So one of the things that I've been thinking on a lot about is this, again, the Australian Shepherd that was skinned. I know that law enforcement has ruled it out, but it has really bothered me. Has it bothered a lot of other people that learned about that? I think what law enforcement needs to do, of course, they're never gonna listen to us, right? We are just the outsiders looking in. But what I wish they would have done is swabbed Buddy for DNA. And if they would have gotten a male profile off of that, they could have connected through genetic genealogy, potentially. There might be a connection. I feel like it's such an odd crime to do this to an animal. It's absolutely not normal. If it was to a deer, yeah, it's pretty normal, right? Hunters, that's what they do. But to dogs, to cats, never gonna be normal. And I don't think it's any coincidence. On October 21st is when that happened. And then here we go, November 13th, 3 a.m. is when they believe the murder happened. That's like 3 weeks of a window where something terrible, horrible atrocities happen. And I don't minimize what happened to that precious dog. He was the light of his family's life. And can you imagine finding your dog in that position, your precious beloved, animal? There's just no word for how sick that is. So we can't begin to even understand. So for Moscow Police Department to just rule it out so off, like right out of the gate, I think that's a bit crazy. I think that's too soon. And then another thing that caught my attention was this person who was flashing the knife back on September 12th. That seems like it's also extremely relevant. Now, I know there is going to be, I think, some prosecuting for that incident, thank goodness. From what I understand, okay, here's what it says. Moscow homicide update. The Moscow Police Department is providing the following information to update the public on the known facts surrounding the 4 murders that occurred on November 13th in Moscow, Idaho. Let's see. There has been media questions about a September 12, 2022 incident regarding an argument between a group of people walking on the University of Idaho bike path and a cyclist. It was reported that during the confrontation, the cyclist displayed a folding knife. Both parties dispersed and there were no injuries. The cyclist turned himself into police. The case was investigated and misdemeanor charges were referred to the Moscow City Attorney's Office. There's no connection with the individual involved in this incident and the current murder investigations. I think they say that to kind of maybe pacify the public. I don't really know, but I think that's still very relevant. The odds of having a knife, the odds of it being on Greek Row, which is a stone's throw away from where these kids, I want to call them, these early 20-somethings, lived. You got to be a real nutcase to flash a knife. This is just so much stuff has been kind of minimized and dispelled quickly. They've just kind of thrown it out. So it's like rumor. It's like not a big deal. No, it's a big deal. I still think. Not an expert. I don't have the case file. So that's only my opinion. One woman's opinion. All right, let's read some comments here. Did Jack ever work at La Petite Fleurie, aka Baguette? That I don't know. I've really wondered about this kind of stuff too. I could certainly make a phone call. I hate to be intrusive like that, but I would like to know that as well. It's a very interesting thought there. Okay, now they're saying house was targeted, not anyone in house. Right. So they've gone back and forth so many times. Who can keep up? First, didn't they say first it was like that the public shouldn't be alarmed? Then they say it was a targeted thing. Now they're saying it wasn't targeted. Who can keep up, right? It's impossible to at this moment. Okay, speculation. Someone with knife skills, no DNA in American database, could be Islamic. Almost all honor killings involve stabbings. Also, good point. Also, dogs considered dirty by Muslims, but cats clean. Very interesting point you make. Yeah, Good point. Okay, so guys, I'm going to go ahead and open up the phones. If you guys want to call, let's talk. Let's talk about it. Let me get this all ready. Hold on. So the phone number, let me put it out. And sorry, I didn't give more notice about this live. Things have been crazy lately. I mean, this whole year has been nutty, guys. It's been really busy and chaotic. Here's the phone number. Share your thoughts. Okay, let me open it up. Calls. Okay. Call in, folks. It's 602-456-6695. Let's chat. In the meantime, I will go over some of these comments. Hey, Granny Juju, welcome. Good to see ya. There are a lot of strange coincidences. I mean, to have 3 different knife situations in, what was that, 2-3 months? It seems like it's pertinent. I can't help but think that. Really does. Oh, thank you, Alex. Yeah. We are coming up on 3 weeks. Murders. I know. Will he strike again? That is the $1 million question. I don't know if I should talk about this, but I don't know if I should. A friend of mine, you guys all know her, got a very strange message last night. We're talking creepy. This person was unhinged, saying some very some evil, very crass, very vulgar things in this message. And I got to thinking, did this person hear something that she put out? And it alarmed, it incited anger within them? Good question, right? Oh, I wish I could tell you what these messages said, but they're not, I really couldn't even talk about them on YouTube. They were so bad. Absolutely creepy. Okay. Is the phone? Okay, has anybody tried to call? Call in, somebody. Who's going to be the first brave one? Call in, call in. All right. A family domestic pet is like a child. Absolutely. My cat is like that to me. My little Siberian Chloe, she's precious. She is a family member to us. If I ever found one of my animals like that, I can't even imagine the horror. I don't know how this family is recovering from it. It's really tragic. Did she report it to police? Yes. And actually, I did too. I believe she reported it. Oh, we got a phone call. Okay. Hang on. Oh, jeez. Here we go. Hey, caller. How are you?
Hi, Lauren. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad you called. I was like, is somebody going to call in or what?
Yeah, it's weird. I did try calling and it just kept going beep, beep,
Okay.
beep. So I'm glad it made it through.
Okay, yeah. Awesome. So what are your thoughts right now?
Well, there's so many thoughts on this poor, these poor families, these poor children. A million and one things go through your mind. And this is something that I've noticed, and I don't know if maybe you can confirm. The one thing that I did think was a little odd is that Ethan's family never mentioned Xana as Ethan's girlfriend or, in his eulogy. And when the parents spoke, they have not once mentioned Xana as the girlfriend. I just thought that was a little weird. Can anyone confirm if they've ever acknowledged her?
I feel like I have seen something where where the mother mentioned Xana, but it was very brief. And it was just like they were, newly in this relationship, but they were really taking a liking to one another. I think that was the extent of it. But
I
that's
just thought on both eulogies, neither one of the families mentioned them as, boyfriend, girlfriend, which I just, but yet the other families have mentioned, the boyfriends or significant others or ex-boyfriends or whatever it is. I just thought that was very odd, and I don't know if it's because they didn't really know them too well, but I appreciate you taking so much time on this. This is really just so sad that unfortunately a lot of kooky things are happening in Idaho. I mean, what the heck?
So creepy. Oh, I can't even imagine living there right now. Like just when I'm laying down to take a nap lately, I feel this sense of fear about, man, somebody could just come in and do the exact same thing to any of us, right? To any of us.
Right.
And that's what's so freaky.
And yeah, it is so scary. And I just feel, these poor, all of them. I just can't even imagine what they have gone through, what they went through, and what their families are going through, and how strong that these families were up there. And I just wish that one of the families would have said something for poor Xana. I think it would have been so heartfelt if maybe, they knew that no one was there for her.
I know.
At the vigil, and I just wish someone would have just said something for her.
Yeah.
Because she deserved that as well. But I get it. Maybe they didn't know, but I just hope that someone is caught soon. And I truly appreciate you staying on this. This is great listening to you and Donna. I mean, there's no one that I really look forward to, but I know I can hear a call coming in, but thank you so much, Lauren.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, that was a good call. Yeah, I feel like I have heard the mother, the mother of Ethan, one time talk about Xana, but it wasn't to any great extent. But I'll tell you what, my heart broke. It absolutely broke last night when I was watching that vigil, and they said Xana's family was not there. Like I teared up. It was really sad. Hi, caller. Where are you calling from?
Hi. Oh my gosh. I'm calling from Los Angeles, Santa Monica.
Okay, nice. Beautiful. Yeah. How's it going?
Wow. I cannot believe I got through to talk to you. This is such an honor.
Oh, well, thank you. It's an honor to have you here.
Oh my gosh. Well, I wanted to go back to what you commented on at the beginning about the coroner and the bodies. Not seeking any attention here, but I'm just going to preface this with, I have a sister who's missing and has been for 23 years.
Wow.
And it's been a long road. So I know a lot about what goes on with dead bodies, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it does take a long time for the bodies to be removed from a crime scene. It can take anywhere from 8 to 15 hours.
Oh,
because they're processing. They have many, many procedures that they follow before those bodies are even taken out of there.
So the bodies are they're just lying in their exact positions.
It is. It's very hard on the family.
Wow.
Very, very difficult for the family.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's part of their procedure. They don't like it either, but if they want to be able to find out what happened to build the case, if this is, homicide, then it is part of it. It's not fun. The whole thing is horrendous.
It really is. Yeah.
And I just want to give an opinion real quick, and then I'll go about the killer.
Okay.
I don't have any person of interest because we don't have enough facts.
Oh,
at
totally.
This point.
I agree. Yeah.
But my thoughts are, it's someone who is older.
Yeah.
Probably in his 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And military, or he's been in a militia.
Yeah.
He's had some kind of training, military type training, because it's not an easy thing to go in and kill 4 people. That's not easy. You
Oh
gotta
my
be
gosh,
fast.
such a good point you make. Yes, such a good
Yeah.
point. And he goes in
So,
there and just handles it, and he was probably out very quickly.
yes. I mean, that's how it appears, is that he was in, he knew exactly what he was doing
Right,
in killing them,
right.
and he was out.
Yep.
So now I know they say it's sloppy, okay, but we'll find more. But that's just my thoughts, for what they're worth. And I
Right.
know you're getting another call, so I will go.
Well,
And
thank you
God
so
bless
much.
you.
And thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you for doing this.
And hey, I'm so
Bye.
sorry about your sister. I'm so sorry about your sister.
It's been a long road, but thank you. And hopefully one day we
Absolutely.
will find you. We're not giving up.
I
We've
hope
never given up.
so. I
So,
hope for
yeah.
justice for that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And we will. We're
You
just
will.
not going to give up.
Absolutely.
So anyway, enough about that. And let's
Okay.
get back to these 4 children. So
Yeah, I agree.
bye.
Thank
Okay.
you.
God
Bye.
bless. Bye.
God bless you. Bye-bye. Okay. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Johnson City, Tennessee.
All right. Well,
And
how you doing?
thanks for taking my call. I'm
Good.
doing good. It's cold, but
Oh, I bet it is. Yeah.
just like yourself and myself and a lot of other people, I've been following this case kind of religiously for the last couple of weeks, and it kind of behooves me
Yeah.
who's done this. I do have a theory, though.
Okay. Share,
I
please.
do. Looking at all the evidence that I've seen on TV and on the internet, there's a possibility that the cops are running out of leads with the local people in the area there.
Yeah.
And I think there's a possibility someone who is outside of this circle of people could have committed this crime and gotten away with it and moved out of town, or just gotten out of town
So
and
true.
had just moved on.
Yeah.
A lot like the Gainesville
Oh
type of
gosh.
murders.
That's exactly what I thought of when I heard about this case. I thought of the Gainesville
Same
murders.
here.
Yeah, exactly.
Same here. That's the first thing I thought of, and I didn't even see it on any of the podcasts anywhere.
Yeah.
And that was the first thought that came to my mind, that this person did this. And this is not a person that's they're very criminally oriented. They're used to committing crimes
And getting
and
away
I think
with it.
getting away with it. Their life has been this way.
Yep.
And I remember one time, I guess about a week or two ago, that I said this possibly could be someone that could be maybe an immigrant, someone who's passing through.
Good point.
And taking advantage of an opportunity. College kids are very vulnerable to things like this. It's just a matter if the wrong person comes into town and decides to create havoc. And in this case, they definitely did this.
Yeah.
Definitely created some havoc in this town.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. Yeah, you're right. A college campus and that sort of surrounding area is a perfect place for something like this to happen, because your guard is down. You're always with your friends socializing, I would imagine, and you're always out in the open, walking to and from classes, to and from home. I don't know. It just seems like a perfect place for a creep to kind of hang out and practice things, crimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And get away with it.
I would think that that law enforcement is looking back, is backtracking the timeline from when it happened, maybe back 2 or 3 days prior to this happening, and monitoring the traffic that they might have been able to pick up off a satellite, either phone records or something that could probably give them a good indication. It just seems like this person was able to go into this house, commit these crimes, leave there, not leave much evidence, if any at all, and maybe not even hurt himself.
Right.
And left the area and is gone. It's cold over there. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. How many people are going to be on the street at 3 o'clock in the morning? So how far did they have to go to get back to a safe house to where they can regroup and then continue on with their lives?
Good point.
Who knows whether, It could be someone close by, but it could be someone from far away.
Did you see that glove that Chris McDonough from the interview room supposedly found? Well, I guess he did find it. It was within the crime scene, tape off area. Do you think there was any relevance to that?
I thought that. I just thought that someone's trying to interject themselves to a situation. That's what I thought about that.
I got you.
That maybe it has no significance. Maybe it does. But see, this person that committed this crime, I think they took everything that they came with back with themselves and then discarded the clothing, the gloves, whatever it might have been, whatever they used. They could have used 2 pair of gloves. They used a heavy pair of gloves to prevent themselves from getting cut, from the knife, because they knew that the knife was going to get slippery. It was definitely planned. Definitely planned in advance. So again, I think if you go back 24 to 72 hours, you might be able to find a clue there that will indicate what someone wanted to do.
It's got to be
sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pre-planning. Pre-planning. Definitely got some pre-planning to it.
Right. It's got to be so hard for law enforcement right now. They're dealing with not only 4 different people, but then their social spheres, right? The classes that they must have attended, every relationship in their lives, pretty much, that was probably on campus. They have their work cut out for them. I can't even begin to imagine just how much they have to do to figure out who this guy is.
The influx of information is going to be mind-boggling to a lot of people.
Holy
it
moly.
is to all of us.
Yep.
Imagine what it is to them, because they're researching ways. The law enforcement is researching the information that they see in a different way. They're able to dissect stuff where we can't. We just kind of see it from the surface, but they can dissect this information and maybe find someone that matches up to who they think the perpetrator is. Maybe, maybe not. I think if this person had thoroughly planned this thing out, he would have somehow gotten off of social media, so we wouldn't get tied to that. But maybe he did. He has to have some type of social media, but he's definitely probably taken himself out of that arena.
He would be smart too. Yeah, he would be smart too. There has been somebody with the name The Moscow Slayer. He's been on Instagram. I've seen the profile go up and then the profile goes down. I don't know if there's any relevance to that, any connection to that, or it's just some, guy messing around, just trying to attract some attention any way he can get it.
I think it's probably more. It would probably be more of that than anything else.
I think so too. It seems like that's the case. I think there's a lot of people doing that,
Oh yeah. And I think if this person was someone the person that committed this crime, if they really wanted to interject more fear into people, I think they would have committed another crime right behind it.
Ooh, yeah. Right.
I think this could be someone who's followed, people or followed crime stories for a long period of time, maybe these serial killers, and then basically they have, created themselves as this possible serial killer, and they want to create some type of havoc on a community. Well, they did it with this. But I think they want to do more. There's a possibility they want to do more. And, you never know what might happen in the future, but I would think if they got away with this so far without being traced or being followed or being looked at by law enforcement, that they have something else up their sleeve, because they want to be known as like the best serial killer there ever was.
Good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get it. One last question for you. Do you think that the person who did this skinning and filleting on Buddy, the 12-year-old Australian Shepherd, do you think there's any connection from the person who did that, to the person who carried out these slayings? What is your opinion?
My thoughts initially was that someone might have done this to see what the reaction would be, but I only gave that maybe 10% of any consideration.
Okay.
Because I think this person wants something a little bit bigger. It's not like this person has been training himself to be this person to kill all these people.
Mhm.
You know, I think killing a dog, I don't think there's an issue with dogs. I really don't think that this person has an issue with dogs or animals. I think they have issues with society as a
Right.
whole. It
Right.
may have been shown in some way, and maybe not in a sexual type of way either. Now, I had some thoughts of maybe there might be some impotency or something from this person,
Good point. Yeah.
or some antisocial. I just think this person's a true psychopath,
Oh, for sure.
and they can blend in
Mhm.
and be just like everybody else, but they're psychopaths, so they're going to be a little bit more narcissistic in their
Right.
personality.
Right.
So it's, they're going to stand out a little bit, but not too much. They don't want to stand out too much because they don't want to give everything away that's going on in their minds. Does that make
Gotcha.
sense?
It does make sense. Now, with serial killers, we know that their first, I guess, playground or practice is going to be a lot of times, maybe not in all instances, but it's going to be on an animal. You still don't think that there could be any sort of connection if this guy was trying to get the guts to go do it to a person? He practiced on an animal, just like the killing part. You don't think so?
No, reason why, and I had mentioned this on somebody's site one time,
Okay.
not too long ago, that this person's already probably familiar with animals, livestock, maybe on a farm,
Okay.
maybe. So killing an animal is probably something they're already associated with. That this kind of leads me back to the thought process of possibly that this might be an immigrant, may possibly be an immigrant from South Central America, Mexico, places like that, who probably grew up on some type of farm.
Right.
And like I said, could have been just passing through. I looked at the major throughways through there, okay? And I did a little bit of shady type of what I call investigations on the traffic and the amount of people that flow up and down certain major highways and stuff like that, as far as immigration type of situations and stuff. And there's a lot of people going, I guess, from the border up towards that part of the country to work. So this possibly could be a young guy. I think it's a young guy that could have maybe of a different ethnic background.
That makes a lot of sense.
I've been looking around at all the people I've seen out there, especially individual and in the neighborhoods and people they were talking to. Definitely, it doesn't seem to be very diverse. Okay, it's definitely a
very Caucasian. Very Caucasian. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Very so. An immigrant, probably maybe of a Hispanic descent, may not stick out that much. It may be fairly common through this, to the towns, that are close to Moscow. That there could be quite a few immigrants out there working on these farms and stuff like that. You never know. Or they doing livestock. But I think this person already has experience what it's like to kill, maybe through a livestock, working with livestock and stuff like that. Maybe a butcher, maybe someone, I forgot, maybe worked at a deer farm. Who knows? So
good point.
I think he's very, very knowledgeable of how to use a knife and how to kill someone. So back that up a little bit. How successful was he with his ability to stab these kids? How many times did he stab these kids? And where did he stab them to render them?
Good question.
How long did it take them to control their victim? How long did it take them take him to subdue his victim. I don't think he was there very long.
I know.
I think he knew who was in the house. He probably didn't know about the two downstairs. So that's kind of makes me wonder, maybe this person doesn't know exactly who all is living in this house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the four that he saw go in, that went in probably about the same time, was him watching them. You
Such
know,
a good
and he
point.
could have been at some of these other places. He could have been at the bars with them. He could have been hanging out in the corner. He could have been, you know, keeping tabs on these people throughout the night. But then again, you know, my theory can be just thrown out the window and not worth anything. It could be something totally different.
Well, I think you make so many good points, honestly. And I really thank you for calling in today. It was great
You're the
talking
first
to you.
person I've ever called into.
Well, I'm
First one I've
glad.
ever called into.
Hey, that's great. Thanks. I hope you call back again when I do this another time.
I will. It's been a pleasure talking. I don't even know your name.
Oh, my name is Lauren. Lauren. Lauren, yes.
I'm Donnie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Donnie. You have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, guys, that was a very interesting call. I feel like we're getting good calls. Oh, you know what? I need to go over this real quick. Hold on, let me take this call. Just a second. Oops. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from?
Hello,
Hi, where are you calling from?
Oregon.
Hey, okay, great. What are your thoughts? Oops. Okay, go
You
ahead.
should really know who this is.
I should know who this is?
Yes.
Okay, well, keep talking and I might figure it out. Is this Barb?
No,
Okay, keep talking. I'll figure it out. Okay, go ahead.
it's Naomi.
Oh, Naomi, you didn't sound like yourself. My gosh, how are you? I'm so glad you called. I'm like, who is this voice? Who is this caller?
Oh, you're so funny.
Good to talk to you. What's up?
So I actually just wanted to talk to you about those pictures that I sent you earlier.
Oh, girl, those are so creepy. Where did you find them?
So looking through connections
Okay.
to businesses
Okay.
close to the Mad Greek.
Okay.
So this is a child of one of the business owners.
Okay. Can we tell the chat at least the nature of the photo without being too graphic? We don't have to show the photos.
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead, Naomi.
No,
How would you
I
describe
don't
that?
want to show the photos, especially not those ones I sent you, because
Okay.
they're
I will not. I will not
blotted
show
out.
them.
But so these photos are a person with his two children,
Okay.
and he's having them and teaching them how to skin two cats.
Oh, geez.
And so when I saw this, it immediately made me think of how you described the dog,
Yes.
because you said it was skinned
And filleted.
perfectly,
Yep.
right? And the only thing left were the boots and
Yep.
the head,
Yep.
right? And that is exactly how these cats ended up.
Oh my gosh, Naomi, I'm looking at these photos. It's cruel and
It's
unusual and disgusting and
So
so
just
wrong.
to be clear, this is what this person termed to be an unschooling lesson for his homeschooled children.
Oh my god.
And these were cats that obviously he
Yeah,
obtained
trigger
from- he
warning.
didn't just go,
Hold on, we got to tell them
Huh?
trigger warning, because I know some people can't stand
Yeah.
to hear this kind of gore. Okay, go ahead.
So he didn't like just go commandeer these cats himself. They were in formaldehyde, right? So obviously he could obtain them by some
Maybe some
legal type of
online
means.
thing. Yeah, like could order them or something. So they had been in
Right.
formaldehyde and they were practicing.
Right.
Okay.
I found it very creepy and very odd, especially to do with 2 children.
Yes.
However, so this person is connected to a business owner on Main Street.
Okay. Is it the one you and I
And,
have talked? Hold on, Naomi. Is it the person you and I have talked about before?
No,
Okay,
I actually
different.
mentioned this person to you in that 8-minute long voice message I sent you the other day, but you have not listened to it yet. So,
Oh, girl, I'm sorry. That must have been the day
no,
there was
that's good. You're busy.
chaos.
Um,
Okay.
so, an avid hunter,
Okay.
avid, I'm going to guess, severe narcissist,
For sure.
very good knife skills.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I'll send you he's got multiple Facebook pages,
Okay.
but I'll send them to you later so you can check them out and see what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's super creepy. Oh my goodness.
I would say in my mind, I can't prove any military background on this particular person.
Yeah.
But definitely a survivalist type of dude. You know.
Oh, I'm just tripping right now. Seeing those pictures is too much, Naomi. There's absolutely no way I will be putting those out to anybody in the crowd, in the audience there. No way.
Creepy, right?
Oh, beyond. Yeah.
Super creepy. So,
yeah.
Someone that he is closely connected to lives relatively close to where the dog was found.
Okay. Okay.
I would say approximately about the same distance between the college and that house, but the opposite direction.
Okay.
He himself particularly lives about an hour and a half away, but still comes to town to visit.
Okay. So he still comes into Moscow pretty often, from what you know.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Very interesting. And you came across this person, just one thing led to the next link, and then the next link led to this link, and that kind of thing. Was it happenstance?
So this was, I was particularly seeing who was related to a specific person.
Okay. I gotcha.
So that's how I came across.
I get it. Okay. Wow, Naomi, thank you for sharing that with me and with all of us. Very disturbing. I just have no words, honestly.
Yeah.
Horrible.
So, I mean, obviously, there was a lot that tied in.
Yeah.
You listen to Donna's reading and then.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was
just
commonality
to this guy.
Okay.
Huh?
Commonality between what she put out and what this, the characteristics are of this guy and things like that, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. Wow.
Here, I'm gonna
Naomi.
I'll send you his profile right now.
Yeah, please do. I'd appreciate it. Well, awesome, girl. I'm so glad that you called, and I'm really sorry I didn't recognize your voice at first. It sounded different.
I'm surprised you didn't.
I am too, honestly. But once I heard your laugh, I was like, okay, it clicked a little more, So
yeah.
All right, good. I got your message from Facebook. We're good. Cool. Okay.
All right.
I'll holler back at you after this, okay?
All right.
Okay. Lots of love to you, Naomi. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Whoa, guys. Whoo, that is something. If you would have seen these photos, holy moly. Just too much. It's too much. Of course, it could be a whole lot of nothing burger, right? But it's weird to imagine that people would engage in these kind of, shall we say, extracurricular activities. It's odd at the very least. Okay, anybody else want to call in? In the meantime, I'll read some comments. Okay, Jay Warren. I can see that. I'm thinking he lives in a small farmhouse rurally and comes in to get supplies and clearly other reasons. Oh, here comes the call. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm calling from Piketon, Ohio.
Okay, well, welcome. What are your thoughts?
I was just thinking of everything that has been going on lately, like with the Rodney case and all the other cases.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that this could be ritualistic in any way?
Oh, good question. You know, let's see. We're on the heels of Halloween. I kind of wondered that, honestly, but at the same time, I feel that it was, you know, it
Think
could
this one may
be.
be a little different?
It could be. You have a good point. There's so many possibilities. Like none of us can even imagine. Like there's endless possibilities of who this could have been and why they did it. First of all, it could have been somebody who was wronged from a class that they had with Xana 4 years ago. You know, it could be so many different people and so many different reasons.
It's just amazing that all of this that is happening, that law enforcement, I don't know. I just think that they could do a little better job.
I know. I've been kind of critical of them myself, but then when I think about the workload they have on their shoulders, I think all we can have right now is like grace with them because they have got a huge undertaking trying to sort this mess out. It's a huge mess. You know?
Oh, yes, it is. This right here was just mind blowing after all the other stuff that had happened.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh no. But I don't know what's happening to our kids these days. It's like they're just disappearing and we can't stop it.
I know. It's really disturbing what's going on. I've got to make a good, I think it's a good point about social media. We got to also take into consideration there's this whole side of it that's the internet side. Like somebody could have seen these girls, their Instagram, they didn't exactly cover up when they would, take photos and stuff.
Yeah.
It could have been any weirdo out there. That's what we just don't, we can't begin to imagine how many different people it could be. So there's that element as well. It could have been somebody from, the online, like social media. I heard that she had an OnlyFans account. I don't know that that's true. So no one run with that. But if that is what she had, oh, forget it. There's
a lot of sickos out there in the world. And I've got like grandbabies and I'm like, oh no. So it's like, it just blows my mind. But I just thought I would call in and see what you thought about that. And I've got all this going on in Piketon, Ohio with the massacre that the courts, that's happening now with the Pike County massacre. Or in court, they're doing the court thing now.
Okay.
So
I think I heard about that the other day. It was a family, right? It was a whole family annihilated. What was their last name? I can't remember.
It was the Rosen family.
That's right. Rose. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And it was like 8 of them at once. I'm sorry, I've got a baby here. I'm watching it. And it was the family of it was a baby. The Wagners had a baby with the Rosens.
Okay.
And they was trying to keep the baby away. But they're in prison where they need to be. And
thank goodness.
That, like, I live like 5 miles down the road from when that happened, and it was like all crazy.
Right. And it was from years ago.
Awful.
Wasn't it from like 2016 that it happened?
Yes. And they had been looking at them for a while, but it took time for them to gather all of the stuff to get it. But I've got a baby trying to crawl into the thing, or to the vent. So I will let you go, hon, and thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. You have a good rest of your day. Take care.
You too, hon. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Wow. November 13th isn't, 13th, 13. That has a, well, I don't want to go on that rabbit trail, but when she asked about if it was a ritualistic killing, that did cross my mind just about the number 13 in general. It's kind of got that ominous tone to it, I guess. Hold on, just a minute, guys. What app? Oh, here we go. Okay. We shall take some more calls. Hello, caller. Welcome. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Orlando.
All right. Well, what are your thoughts about this Idaho murder?
Oh, wait a minute. Am I on with you now live?
You are, yeah.
Oh, okay, because I called like twice and I got a recording, which totally confused me.
Okay.
And then when I dialed you, there was someone on
Okay.
just now. So then I thought this was the beginning of a recording.
Yes. No. This is me.
Hi.
This is me. Share your thoughts.
This is Brian.
Okay.
How
Hi,
are you,
Brian.
my dear?
I'm good, Brian. How are you?
I am losing my marbles.
You
This morning,
yeah.
it went wild.
Okay.
All the news outlets took it. That they are now saying it was not targeted.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So that spins a whole bunch of stuff around.
It sure
Then
does.
while I'm waiting here with you and listening to you, I go back to pull up a quote for you, and then it says, this is like 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's saying, they kind of are saying that they really didn't mean to say that this morning.
What?
Okay?
Really?
So I'm playing around and I'm messing to try to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to pull it up again. Then they're changing it back to the word targeting might not be good.
Okay.
Then I see what outlet going with the kids weren't targeted. It was the four walls in the house. I'm changing it. They said
Right.
it's the house.
Right.
But all along, I have thought this has been drug related. Okay, kind of like gang killing territory. Quit messing with my fentanyl dealings through the fraternity. Okay, until this morning when I saw that they're now not targeting it. I mean, that is very scary.
Yeah.
If it's not targeted, we got a problem.
Right.
But now that they're all over the place, I think my drug is okay. I think that there was boundaries crossed between the fraternities with drugs. And I think that was some of the stuff why Hoodie got kicked out.
Okay.
And I think that it's just like gang drugs territory, okay? That's the easiest way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And it hit me that way pretty quick because really, typically you don't have stuff like that if there's not a sexual motivation, okay? And that's not necessarily rape, but it could be mutilation of specific areas. I mean, I think that they ran into Ethan, I don't know, that they didn't know he was there, but there was nothing sexual about it, which is odd.
It is odd, yeah.
Everyone's getting confused. It's not a serial killer. That's not the definition of a serial killer. Okay, they have cooling off periods. But now I'm all spun out. So what do you now think at 1:52?
Right.
And then what do you think is going on here? Because they have been all over the place today.
They could be. What I was going to say is they could be just trying. Maybe they realize they said too much and they're just walking things back. I'm not really sure why they keep vacillating between two different things that they're consistently saying, which is it's targeted, it's not targeted, it's targeted, it's not. It's crazy.
And
so
that's very important.
It is very important.
I mean, that's very important in terms of for the people living there. I mean, if it is not targeted, well, then we do have a very disturbed person there.
Right, and he's out and about.
Still there, or she's still there, but we got a problem.
Now, have you ever?
But there's stuff about the fraternities that bugged me from the beginning.
Okay.
Okay, with him getting kicked out.
Yeah.
And I've tried to find out whether Ethan had anything to do with that. Because initially that would give me motive.
That's what I was thinking this morning.
I think for a male, if they're a little unsociable, or they're a little scared, or they're immature, or they're a little sick, and getting kicked out of a fraternity might be pretty bruising.
Mm-hmm.
in front of his peers.
Yeah.
But he seemed like a really nice dude. The guy, white hoodie. If you watch his behavior out there, he's warm. He's sociable. He's talking to people. His bowing down to the tank top guy twice was funny. It was witty. He was able to engage with people. He didn't look uptight to me.
Right.
Did he look uptight to you?
No, he didn't. But you know, the first time I saw that video, it did kind of give me the creeps as I saw him walk away. And to me, I know a lot of people say it didn't look like he was following the girls, but from what I could see, it did look like he could have been walking the way of the girls. So it struck me as really, I don't know, a little bit creepy the first time I saw it. But after that, I didn't so much think of it the same way. The more I learned, he seemed kind of harmless. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a little puppy dog.
Exactly.
Like,
yes.
and I mean, yeah, the body language, the hands in the pocket, and the way I'm thinking of it is to think about it. It's closing, and everybody's like, he's stalking them people. He's drunk. It's 2:00. Everyone else in the area in the time frame we see him are men.
Yeah.
There are 2 beautiful women there who are inebriated. Who exactly do you expect this dude to be staring at? The fat guy?
True.
The other male?
Yeah.
So, like, all this, he's stalking them. And she did do another thing. I want to ask your opinion. Did you see him do the 2 play, run up and run over and jump on and hug a male and a female?
I saw the guy, but I don't think I noticed the female.
No, she did the same thing to a female.
Okay.
And to me, I'm retired mental health, okay? So I can't help it. I like notice stuff.
Yeah.
But, okay, I'm thinking she runs over, and it was almost like shock. Like, to me, I'm thinking it's a drug deal. And the guy's like, oh, he's here. So she runs over. She gives a big hug, turns around, walks away. Now, to me, it's cold. I'm not going anywhere. I'm waiting for food. All of a sudden, and if I'm buzzed, I see someone far away that I know, and I will run over to give them a big hug. I don't think I would talk to them.
Yeah.
Okay? That she did not do that at all. She ran over, and she did it to a female, too. Ran over, hugged, turned around, walked away. I think she was handling product.
Interesting.
Okay, I think it was a meetup. That person didn't stay for food. I think that they were dealing, and I don't even know if I'm going to say I think they were using. Yeah. I think they were moving fentanyl through the fraternity channels. And then she did the same thing to Jersey number 9 guy. And if you watch Jersey number 9 guy earlier, he was doing hand gestures that looked like he was signaling someone across the area too. Like he put up his hand too. Like, and to me, I mean, I don't know how they do fentanyl. You know, I don't know if they're saying 2 dozen, 2 pills, 2 whatever. But to me, he was signaling quantity about something. Okay, and that to me was interesting.
Now,
the final thing I want to ask you.
Okay, I was going to say, didn't
you see?
The
what?
Did you hear recently? Law enforcement came out and said they do not think this is drug related. Did you hear that?
No.
Okay, well, supposedly that, I mean, they did say that. I want to say it was in the last 4 to 7 days, maybe. So it's hard for me to believe that it was drug related, but obviously something happened. I mean, I just feel something must have happened for this to happen in the end, right?
Yeah, it's awful. Have you seen the backyard of the house?
Yeah, I sure have.
Oh my God, it's scary.
Oh, it is. Anybody could have just walked there in the back. Anybody.
No, it's 1982 B horror movie. It is scary back there.
It is creepy.
A guy drove back there in a car. It gave me the creeps.
Oh my
There's
gosh.
2 cinder blocks.
Yeah, I saw that.
Underneath the wind. Yeah, well, that's kind of creepy. It just is. We can make up anything we want, but it just is. Ew, it had no lights in the back.
Oh,
yeah. Being sexist, but it was like if I was the female, I don't know if I would want to live there.
Oh,
unless
heck
I had
no.
The landlord put up lights.
Yeah.
Put
No,
up
I get
lights.
it.
There was no lights back there.
Mm-hmm. Super creepy. I got
Do you
the
think-
EBs out of there after looking at pictures and stuff. That place gave me the creeps.
Have you heard the 911 call thing?
Yes, I have. I actually have that right in my possession.
I thought it was incredible. I thought it was beautifully written. I thought it made sense.
Yeah.
And it explains so much. What was your take when you got done reading it? It moved me.
Yeah, it seemed very possible that that's what happened. And it would explain why the roommates have been so quiet. It would explain why they had somebody else talk on the phone while using their phone. I think it was Dylan's, right? Dylan's phone that was used and that placed the 911 call.
It was incredible.
Yeah. I thought it was very interesting.
Everything. It explained unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
It explained timing. Now, I did just learn, because in the thing we're talking about, they wrote it, if you got it this way too, they wrote it like they weren't sure if Ethan's brother had made it to this scene yet.
Yeah.
But I did hear a couple of days ago that he did make it over there before paramedics
Yes.
got called.
Yes. That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you imagine seeing your brother?
No, it's hideous to imagine. Oh gosh.
And I am going to be, I promise you, I am going to shut up. I'm going to have one more thing. That's it. I promise I will then go. Okay. They determine time of death a lot by liver, temperature, and think about it. This poor kid was laying wet with the door open, and it's 28 degrees out. Because I don't think, and he was in sleeping stuff, I would assume, because I don't think that the time of death is right. I think it's more like 5 or 6, because everybody was up. Ethan was up at 3. There was a phone call at 3:01. It said to cops. It said alcohol related 3:01, and the address it gave was the field behind that fraternity.
Yes, I played that video at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everyone's up at 3 o'clock. So I don't think that they're 3 to 4 in the morning is accurate either. I think it might have been later.
So 5, 6. Okay. Yeah, it's
it was
very
nice
possible.
talking to you. I just stumbled across you.
Okay, well, it's great talking to you.
Now.
Okay, come back
Have
and
a good
visit.
one.
Take care.
You take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I want to thank Righteous Reaper 329. Thank you so much for your super chat. It says thank you thank you for sharing. Your channel is amazing. Thank you so much for being here. And I do intend to make more, do more live streams, more videos. My schedule more recently has not permitted it, but I'm hoping that can change soon, guys. So I'm really sorry. I take such long breaks from here. It's not intentional. I do enjoy talking to you all. So just know I don't mean to do that. All right. Let's take one more call and then we will tie it up. Go ahead and call in whoever wants to. And I think I missed a super chat. Where was it? It was Mom of 23 Kitties. I need to acknowledge that real quick. Somewhere around here. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Salt Lake City, Utah.
All right. Welcome. How are you doing? What's new?
Oh, I am good. Is this live on YouTube
yes,
right now?
you're live. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Sweet. I actually had a video on TikTok that actually went viral about this case, but I had to delete it due to legal actions and people saying they were going to sue me.
Okay.
So I figured giving you guys some information without saying a name, because I don't want any legal actions placed on me, right?
Yes, I think it's important we stay away from giving names anyway. I mean, these people still have to carry on with their lives. If they're not guilty of anything, their lives are wrecked. We've got to be so careful with that.
That's why I had to make my video private, because I didn't necessarily say his name, but I had about 30 pictures, you know, and there was that psychic lady. I know you heard about that psychic lady. Everything matched up with this guy.
Let me just tell you.
It was this guy.
Hold on. Let me tell you. Pause. That psychic lady is why I came to YouTube in the first place. She had solved an entire murder case, okay, about 2 missing kids in Idaho. It's now called the Lori Vallow, case. It's where Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell, the guy that she had just, it might have been before she had married him actually, but anyway, she and her now husband and her brother had basically killed these kids. And at the time when Donna, the psychic you were talking about, at the time when she did that first reading, which ended up being 6 months before the kids were found, she gave every detail. I'm not kidding. Every detail down to dismembered and burned.
Yeah.
It's so her ability is real. And there's been people on YouTube recently that have tried to dismiss her. And I don't think it's fair to do, because she does have a real ability. I didn't believe in psychics until her. Okay. So
like,
it's real.
So my mom's the one who showed me her. She showed me the Gabby Petito case, and she ended up almost being 100% right about the case.
100%.
Everything was found out.
Yeah.
And now what's really getting to me about this case is when she's talking about the bloody apple, right?
Right.
I don't want to speculate on that necessarily.
Okay.
I'm not even saying that's the actual guy, right?
Yeah.
But maybe it's somebody that has a connection with that guy. Maybe I feel like it has to do with that apple. It has to do with that bloody apple. It has to do with somebody that likes to hunt. Now, I have a lot of different guesses on who or it might not be, but my only thing is I was watching Kaylee's videos the other day on her TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Nothing really suspicious on her TikTok. And then I was like, hey, I'm going to go check out, how do you say her name? Xana? Is that how you say her name?
Yeah, Xana Kernodle. Yeah.
Xana. Xana. Yeah, sorry about that. So I checked out her TikTok. And her last TikTok, I know she was joking about it, but she was doing a little fun video. And her very last TikTok was kind of disturbing because it was talking about murder. And I was just kind of like mind boggled about that, and especially had nobody even talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
There were people behind her as well. I believe Kaylee was sitting on the couch right there. I'm not sure if that was Kaylee, but I hope that the cops and the FBI are investigating those people too. I also saw a map. I would love to give you this information. The what is it called? The fraternity house or whatever for the college students is actually only 2-3 blocks away.
Oh, it's so close. I know. If people understood how close it is, it's
so close.
Unbelievable. It's like less than a 60-second walk. So
yeah, it's really a very nice walk. But what happened to them after 9 p.m.? That's what everybody's wondering. They left there at 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
But they're saying that Xana and Ethan didn't get home until what? What's the new timeline? Like 1:45 or something?
Right. Yeah, they're saying there's like a 5-hour time gap that's just totally unaccounted for. It's very strange.
There's something really off right there, especially how that frat house is right by their house.
I know. So do you think it was some enraged? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. What was your question?
I was going to say, do you think it's some frat guy that was enraged? Maybe he felt slighted by Ethan. Maybe Ethan was an authoritative figure within the frat. Do you think it could have been a dynamic like that?
Yeah. I feel like everybody thinks that Kaylee and Maddie might have gotten targeted.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to think, the more videos I've been watching lately, is that it was actually Xana and Ethan that were targeted because there's less proof of where they were. There's no videos pretty much of them.
You make a great point. Yep. I know. That clicked in my mind this morning. I was like, well, if there's this 5-hour time gap, nobody knows where they were. What were they doing? What's the deal? And could this be why they were potentially targeted, right? In the middle of the night? It's a very good question.
And the day before they got killed, when they took that picture, right, of all the 6 roommates, right? When they took that picture together, it wasn't at the house. if you pay attention close to that picture, it was actually like at these certain apartments right by their house.
Yep. Agree.
That was a day before. Why were they over there? Did the cops ask those people that? Where were they at?
I know.
I feel like it's connected to that apartment.
I do too.
And cops just.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been feeling that.
I really feel like it's connected to the apartment.
Yeah.
There's somebody, I still envision somebody with an apple. I'm not saying it was that other guy.
I know.
I'm not going to give his name out. But I feel like there still is a connection with an apple, and there's a big connection with a tree. One of the neighbors, everybody's accusing one of the neighbors. I necessarily, in my opinion, don't think it's him.
I don't think it's him either. I will tell you real quick, I was less creeped out by Jeremy than I was of Dakota, the other guy. I won't say his last name, but he gave me the willies. I'm not going to kid with you. He gave me the willies. Jeremy didn't as much. He just seemed kind of like a nerd. If he's listening, I'm sorry, Jeremy. That was just my initial impression. But he just kind of seemed like that more than anything. I didn't feel like he was involved. Honestly, just my opinion. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
So these are my two guesses. So there was another TikTok video. I'm not sure how much time I got here, but I would love to give you more information in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I watched a new TikTok video where this guy is literally like, this is why we're getting misled. This is why we have no person of interest. This is why we have no suspect, because we're scared, we're hiding, we're calling this dude a monster. He is not a monster. He's literally a person just like you or me that's acting like he's a normal person. He's a human being, right?
Hidden in plain sight. Yeah.
I feel he is, obviously he's a monster in the inside, right?
Yeah.
But how everybody's viewing it is it's like, it's got to be like this creepy dude, this like stalker dude. No, that's why there is no person of interest.
Yeah.
Because he's somebody out in Idaho. I bet he lives in Idaho and he looks normal. Everybody thinks he's normal. Everybody. Nobody thinks one little speculation that this dude might be the killer. Just like Ted Bundy, you know, he was a nice, handsome dude.
I agree.
Nobody viewed him as a monster.
Yeah.
We need to start looking at the people that look normal.
Yeah. Hiding in plain sight. They look normal. They seem normal. They talk normal. They don't look creepy at all. That's going to be the guy. It could shock us like that. It could end up being that. Completely.
And I feel like time is passing by really fast
It is.
right now. It's been like, 2 or 3 weeks. The cops, I suggest, I've been calling in the tip line. I talked to the FBI and everything with all the info I got. But what I feel like that the FBI, the police, it's stretching. The time is stretching. Now is the time to give the public more information, because obviously what they're doing, they're trying. I'm not going to down the police, but they need to give the public more information. I know they're scared that the killer might be watching everything, you know, and makes sense.
I've been feeling that
so
too.
Smart. People like you and me are so smart. We need more people like us.
Yeah. I agree. If they could just kind of give the heads up of who they really feel they're looking for, it could pop out in anybody's mind that attends that college campus or that works outside of that campus or whatever. And all of a sudden the light bulb goes off and, oh yeah, that one guy. Yeah, he was just a little bit off. He seemed kind of normal.
Yeah.
You know,
another question, guys. Another question that have cops. I don't even think cops have thought about this.
Yeah.
The day after the murder, right? We need to speculate. Everybody in Idaho, did everybody go back to work? Did that person go back? Was there a person that went back to work and had a cut on his hand or his arm?
Yeah, would love to know.
We need to know that more information, because if the FBI was actually there and asking everybody all these questions, checking everybody's body marks, that's what we need. And the last thing that I was about to tell you, because I know there's probably other people that want to talk with you, is I have 2 ideas, 2 options, right?
Yeah.
The first one is either It's somebody connected to Xana, Ethan, Kaylee, or Maddie. I think Maddie's real name is Madison, actually. So, either it was a connection with the school or a connection to family. Murders always happen that way. It's either family, the school, family, the school, or friends or acquaintances.
Or a restaurant.
My other idea, or it's just a literal crazy maniac killer, and that's why we have no leads. It doesn't connect with nobody. If this was somebody at the college or something that did this for the first time, I kind of don't even agree with that. The way that he stabbed these people and the blood was running out of the house, and yes, guys, I got proof that that was actually blood.
I know.
There's another picture of Kaylee and somebody else. She's with her friend, and there wasn't blood right there that night, and that was only a few days before that actually happened. I feel like, my opinion is just based on opinion, I feel like if we don't find any more solid evidence within the next couple weeks, this has to be a solid serial killer. Now, people ask, why didn't they go downstairs? Why didn't they kill those other two girls? Why?
I don't think they know about them.
Why? This person did not rape them. They said he did not sexually assault them, right? Those types of serial killers get off just by looking you in the eye while they're killing you. What if he killed that fourth person, got off, right? He got off, so he wasn't satisfied anymore, and just left. Bam.
Good point.
Right there.
I know. Yeah, you make some great points. I appreciate your call.
And we need more investigations in Washington too, because Washington is right by Moscow. I don't know why they haven't.
I know,
but they should.
I was thinking that too. Man, you have such good points. Yeah, there was actually a really weird situation out of Pullman, Washington. I was reading about the other day where there were a bunch of animals in this house. I know, back to animals, right? But there's a bunch of animals in this house, and like all of them except for maybe 2 or 3, maybe it was dogs, that were alive. I find that bizarre. Again, we go back to animals and the association with becoming or being a budding serial killer. There's such a connection that I don't think that we should ever minimize here. I heard that story and thought, well, could the guy be in Washington? What was that?
About that, you were talking about the dog that got skinned, or is this a different?
This is a whole different thing. It's another story about animals that were found dead in an apartment, and this was in Pullman, Washington. I want to say within the last year. Yeah, within the last year.
They killed every animal but the dog.
Yeah, every animal, but like 2 or 3 dogs in the house. Yeah, if you can find. They didn't
kill Kaylee's dog. I want to know more information.
Right.
Why did they already give the dog back to Jack? I feel like there's a big connection with that dog.
That's what made me think it was.
Let the dog outside?
Right. I know, that's what made me think it could have been the boyfriend there for a while. Won't say his name, but I thought, well, he has this connection. It's, with Murphy, the dog. It's his and Kaylee's dog. Of course he would spare the life of it. I don't know. That was what my train of thought was about keeping the dog alive. I was surprised that they didn't do something with the dog.
So when you read that interview, though, when you hear that interview from the family explaining Jack and everything, I'm almost 100% positive it wasn't Jack.
Yeah.
You could hear the empathy in it.
I agree.
Hear all the emotions. I don't think it was Jack.
I don't think it was either.
Connected to Jack.
Yeah. True. It could be.
How many J's are a part of this name? There's Jacks. There's a couple other more J's. There's Jakes. There's Joshes.
Yeah.
And
then Kyle's.
Why are there so many J's?
I don't know. It's just.
I heard of Kyle. My mom told me about Kyle. Actually, what's up, Mom? She actually sent me this link to call you up. So
yeah.
Hello, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Say hi for me.
But she's actually she's really big into that psychic and everything.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know
And
how she found your video, but I appreciate talking to you.
well, thank you for calling. It's nice to talk to you. And I want to say real quick, I had somebody in the comments a little bit ago who was like, "Oh, psychics? No." Okay, that's what I thought too. But she does have a knack for helping people to understand what happened in within the murder or the situation that occurred. So I can't discount her. I mean, I've seen her actually like figure out an entire case 6 months before anybody
And it
knew.
wasn't just one case. It was like 2 cases.
Yeah, she
because
did that
I
with
saw the
Gabby
one on
Petito.
Gabby Petito as well.
You're right.
I don't know how she does it, but there's
It's an
so many
ability.
connections that she talks about. You're 100% correct.
Yeah,
She was also talking about a tree,
I
right?
know. Hmm.
The neighbor, Jeremy, was explaining how those trees are like the only trees in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
Most of the neighborhood is apartments,
Right.
apartments and houses, and those are the only trees by that. So did the killer park behind the trees? Was the killer behind that driveway?
I just feel like he would have come in on foot. I feel like he lives close to there. I really do. Like real close.
I do too.
Mhm.
I do too. I don't necessarily think it's Jeremy, but I feel like it's somebody over there.
Yeah.
And I had somebody else tell me once that it could be possibly, I'm not saying that it's true, but it could be possibly drug related.
Yeah, I've heard
As
that.
you know, fraternity houses and colleges are big with Adderall and stuff like that, right? It should have been a big mix-up where out of nowhere, maybe I'm only coming up with ideas.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like somebody that owed them something, or somebody, like I'm just making speculations right now.
For
but
sure.
maybe that's something else to think about too. So let's get this right. It's either somebody connected to them,
Yep.
first of all. Second of all, it's either a crazy serial killer that we haven't seen something like this for years, like a serial killer like this. And if it is an actual serial killer out on the loose, in a couple weeks from now, there's going to be another killing.
Yeah, because it hasn't
I'm
even
gonna
been a
tell you
month
this,
yet.
If there's not another killing in Moscow in a couple more weeks, what does that mean? It has to be connected. It has to be. But you don't just kill that many people, get off and not kill anybody else.
I know.
So if there are no more crimes in Moscow in the next couple of weeks, I can guarantee that there's a connection with one of the victims.
Okay, that's a good point you make. Yeah.
So let's say this, if we don't get any more crime going on in Moscow in the next couple of weeks, I'm not saying I'm telling the truth, right? But I'm almost 100% sure that it is somebody connected to the 4 victims. Rest in peace. It has to be either friends. I'm sorry to say this, it's either friends, family, or acquaintances, and I hate saying that.
That's usually what it is.
I give
You're
out
right.
my utmost positive, energy towards the family. I could not imagine. I got kids myself, I got a 6-month-old daughter. I could not imagine. I saw Maddie's dad.
Yeah.
Did you see that new video?
That broke me.
When I was listening to
I
Maddie's
teared up.
dad, it literally broke my heart.
It did me
I
too.
cannot even explain it.
I know. I started crying. I was giving my daughter a bath listening on my headphones, and I just started crying. Like, I can't even imagine the despair, right? The pain.
Yeah, what really gets to me is how he was talking about the best time that he had with her. They all went to Mac Miller together.
Yeah.
And that really hit me. My son has the same birthday as Mac Miller.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh my, like, why? Like, and then when you look at these kids, it's not like a normal killing. Like, you look at these kids and they're like people you would meet on an everyday basis.
Right.
Like nice people.
Right.
Like it was a person that would just come say hi to you at like a grocery store or something,
I know.
Like,
so true.
I've never seen these types of victims, like people that are so real that you almost feel like you knew them. you get that feeling like you almost feel like you knew them?
Yeah, I think because they took so many photos, as you look through their photos, you kind of connect, I think, as you view the things that were so personal to them, their friendships, the things in the background. I don't know, you start to feel like you knew them. It's very personal at that point, you know? That's how I feel.
Yeah. And then you watch Kaylee with her dog and everything, and you're like, oh.
Yeah,
and then it's
cute
even
dog.
hard to believe that they're gone, you know,
I know.
when you're looking at that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just so, like, you know, positive and loving.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
like, why would somebody do this? And
they're
another creepy thing, they said that the killer might be at the vigil.
Mm-hmm. I wonder.
The killer might be listening to this call right now.
Yeah, it's true.
This video has went pretty up. You got a lot of views on it.
Yeah.
The killer could be on this video.
Yeah.
If the killer is listening to this right now, I'm gonna tell you that you're gonna get your justice will be served.
It sure will.
And you will not. And if you find the next victim, you will be caught. I promise you that. And we will find you eventually. So the more you hide, the harder you're trying to make it. You might as well turn yourself in. And I know you won't. But I feel like you just might be on this call right now. And I'm telling you that you will not get away with this. Yeah.
Amen. Amen to that. Well, I sure appreciate your call, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. If you want to follow me on YouTube or TikTok or anything, follow me at ROEPOET. That's Roe Poet.
Okay.
I've been doing a lot of investigations too, so I really appreciate you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. Bye-bye. Well, I want to thank everybody for showing up today. I'm sorry again, I didn't give enough notice, but everybody who was here, you kept it really classy. Thank you for doing that. And I will do another live stream very soon. Uh-oh, hold on. Sorry, I thought I ended that. Hold on. Just a minute. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I will do another update soon. Take care. Lots of love to you and yours. And by the way, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. So take care. Bye, y'all. Oh, thank you also for the super chats and super stickers. Subscribe if you haven't, and bye.